Right, let's go. So we have been asked so many times by so many people to do a video that's like a tour of the property.
Yes, we have, and we haven't stopped, but we decided to do it finally with a little glass to celebrate.
Yeah, we've sort of resisted a little bit because the house is an absolute tip. It's basically a building site, and we just kind of thought, oh God, do we really want to share the chaos? But I guess it's kind of part of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's raw, it's us, it's kind of, this is what we're living through at the moment.
So this is the entrance hall, which has this beautiful chandelier in the centre and a gorgeous spiralling staircase. It's also just like a really lovely space. Like we've managed to cram this enormous Christmas tree.
10 foot, so excited when we got
Christmas
that.
Tree. Yeah, we've got a little bit premature this year, but you know, we thought make the most of it, and had to make sure that we got one that was right for the space.
Definitely. And then this, just an old church unit we got from a second-hand shop at Bracont. It was something like €80. We're like, oh my God, the size of it.
I couldn't believe it.
And it just fits perfectly.
This was actually, I think, when we found it, we were actually being filmed by Chateau DIY.
Yeah.
So,
it was a good find.
Yeah, we weren't looking for a giant sort of, what is it, side unit?
I had no idea.
Still hoping that one day we'll be able to go through there and it'll take us to another realm.
Yeah, my secret treasure. I remember when we were filming, I got inside it and I was treating it like a confession booth. And I don't know if they cut it or not. I was like, Father, I have sinned.
Say 30 Hail Marys.
Creepy.
Right,
I don't know if they cut it.
Shall we crack on with the tour of the rest of the house?
Yeah, that just reminds me. I don't know if we want to show in here.
We can do a little shot.
This is like just a downstairs loo. Nothing special, but it will be. We always like making tiny, small toilets, bathrooms quite kind of spectacular, don't we?
Yeah, it's really good to actually sort of show it now because like I think like a toilet is always a space that I think you can kind of go really wild with and sort of use fun wallpaper and sort of really go for really quirky looks.
Yeah, because I think if you've got friends or people are just visiting or renting out, it's just that moment of like, I'm all alone. Ooh, bit of fun. What's going on here? And then when you go back to see people, you're like, oh, you never guessed what I just saw in the bathroom. I don't know, just a little conversation piece.
So we have big plans, but
yeah,
they're not fully materialised yet, but we'll get there. Anyway, let's carry on with the tour of the house. And in this through this door is down to the basement, which we won't show in the video, but it's
we don't go down there after dark. It's a bit scary.
If you check out one of my other videos, I did sort of have to go down there to try and spray some weed killer on some random plants that started growing up through the building. Yeah, the wine cellar has nothing in it at the moment because sadly...
we drank it all.
Yeah. It never seems to make it from the fridge or the sort of the cupboards down to the basement. But one day I like Châteauland dreams are to have a full wine cellar maybe. And one other thing, over here we have the first of the 3 bells in Château Trois Cloches. Well,
I've got to pause here because our dog Bo is sat behind the camera by the Christmas tree. She looks adorable.
She looks like she's the camera woman.
She does. She looks like she's directing us. Okay, good girl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So over here is the first of the 3 bells. Around the property we have 3 bells, which we will show you.
I haven't rang this bell, have you?
No, not yet.
No, I think we'll save it till we finished.
Oh, that would be a nice sort of thing. I don't know if I can last that long.
Don't do it.
Anyway, let's carry on with the tour. Oh. Right, so this is the lounge or the salon. And we've got big plans for this room, haven't we?
We do. We can't say too much, remember, because this is the room we're next doing on Chateau DIY, which we're filming in January 2023, and it's probably going to be out in September, October the same year.
Very good point. Yeah, we can't reveal too many details because we don't want to spoil the surprise of the show. But you can kind of get a flavour for what we're planning.
Can you?
Maybe you can guess. But I think just what we can say though is it's got some really beautiful features. So we've got this gorgeous fireplace here and There's a really lovely ceiling rose which we need to find and fit a chandelier for. And it's got beautiful parquet flooring. Yeah, really love the parquet flooring.
Oddly, you probably don't know this, but I used to hate parquet flooring.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
But no, I just had a thing about it. I used to really hate it, and now, obviously, totally in love with it, and having sanded it to within an inch of its life, I've got a newfound respect for it.
Yeah, so Chris kind of got one of those almost like lawnmower style sanders. I then had to spend about a week afterwards trying to get the scratch marks, because parquet is really hard because the pieces of wood are going at different angles. So if you try and like sand it one way, you end up going across one piece. Likewise, if you go the other. So in the end, we just got like a sander that was actually the perfect size for doing these little parquet pieces, and just did each one individually, and it was painstaking. But
maybe we should notice the difference.
Yeah, it looks really good. We then treated the floor with stuff to treat it for kind of wood mites, and yeah, so basically we've just got to do the big transformation, which we'll be doing on Chateau DIY.
So this is a real luxury thing to be able to say, but in all of our houses, like in all the tiny flats we've lived in, we've always tried to maximise the space in the lounge by pushing furniture right out to the corners, and you just try and maximise the space. With here, we've got the opposite problem, and it's a really nice problem to have.
It's not a problem.
But I'm still really struggling about where to put the furniture. Like, this isn't the final.
This is perfect.
This won't be the final.
No, I really like it laid out like this. I think it's nice. I mean,
because I kind of want an area.
Obviously, we won't have all of the wood in the corner, and it might be nice to have that card table next to the window or something. But the sofas, I think, are perfect. They're kind of by the fire. It's cosy. It's intimate. It's far. If any further away, and you'd be like shouting across the room at people.
Yeah, I think you're going to be in for a fun journey of lots of different furniture arranging with me to get it right. And these chairs are not right either. But
anyone wants to volunteer to come and be Chris's furniture mover, then do let us know. We also had to like raise the fireplace up because when we first lit the fire, we were like, "Oh, so nice to have a fire."
Oh God, yeah.
And then smoke just poured into the room. It was awful.
Then we had the chimney swept.
We had the chimney swept, which helped a bit, but in the end, we realised we had to raise the level of the hearth, the hearth.
Yeah, you can see where you've done the brickwork here. It's like a good extra.
Yeah.
Not that much.
I will probably like age it or maybe even paint it black in time, but that has made a huge difference. And so now, like, the smoke properly carries up the chimney.
We need a bigger one of these.
We need a much bigger one of those because it's a huge fireplace. It's not very safe resting the fire grate on a piece of wood.
Wouldn't recommend that. I should go to the Orangerie.
Yeah, let's go through to the Orangerie, which is right behind you, and do a little swivel. This is one of my favourite, well, it is probably my favourite space in the whole chateau. We kind of fell in love with the chateau because of the Orangerie. I mean, the bell tower as well, the staircase.
But this was the thing you walked in and you went, wow.
Yeah. I think, like, when looking for chateaus, we were always just like, it needs to have something that just takes your breath away. And I don't think on camera you really get a sense of the scale of this room, but it's massive, it's huge. It's like kind
10 metres high.
Yeah, 10 metres high. I think it's about 9 metres lengthways and about 7 or 8 metres that way. It's like Kew Gardens, it's incredible.
But it will be when we planted it even more and finished it. We were really lucky though, it already had this 200-year-old vine?
Yeah, 200 years old. I mean, it's not looking very happy at the moment, but I think that's just because it's winter. Certainly hope so.
And then we had all of these beautiful
geraniums, I think.
Thank you, geraniums. Yeah. And we had that old fern thing and that tree.
Yeah, which was being eaten alive by mealybugs. So I think I managed to get rid of them now, and we've put in a load of new. Is it an orzo? Really love that. Yucca. Yeah, I love it. It's really nice.
And I've got some ivy. Anyway, it's all going to slowly take. And we actually, on a recommendation from one of you guys, we planted an actual orange tree.
Yeah, as it's the Orangerie, we might as well have an orange tree.
So hopefully that will grow.
Yeah, but we obviously, if you watch the video, or if you watch Chateau DIY, you'll have seen us doing the transformation for this room. But
the Christmas special, isn't it?
Yeah, the Christmas special. If you missed it, I've done a video where I've sort of done quite a few of the outtakes. Unfortunately, we missed some of the like key moments because obviously we were like filming with the film crew. But I'll put a little thumbnail in so you can kind of jump across to the other video if you're interested in seeing kind of how we changed this room and made it really special for Chris's family.
We had to do it in 4 days as well, but anyway, that's on the video. And just another shout out to the lighting company for this incredible chandelier they gave us. It just completely fits its face, doesn't it?
I know, it's kind of like it was almost designed for this room. So the chateau's like, one side of it was built in 1830 and I think the other bit was about 7 years later in about 1837. And in that period it was like really kind of, what is it? Belle Epoque and stuff like that. And this one is just perfect. It fits the style of the era perfectly.
It feels like it could be just plucked from Paris or something.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't believe it was new. It sort of feels like it's kind of been here forever, doesn't it? Yeah, but I mean, as you can see, we've got like, there's a staircase that's going up to what is actually our bedroom. And apparently the madam of the chateau, when it was first built, she used to kind of come out of her bedroom, come down the stairs, and she would ring the second of the 3 bells, which is over here, and she would ring the bell, and then the staff, I guess, would scurry out and bring her breakfast, and she'd have breakfast in the Orangerie. How like wonderful would that be?
Beautiful. And in those days she had the glass ceiling as well, so I can imagine in the summer it would have been stiflingly hot.
Yeah, I think like...
And very, very cold in the winter. We now they seem to have insulation in the wood.
Previous owner said it got kind of like way too hot in here in the summer, so, and also like freezing cold in the winter. But I mean, it's always pretty freezing cold in the winter, but at least in the summer it doesn't get too hot.
No.
We don't use that staircase anymore because we had to kind of repurpose the space, but we will show you that when we get upstairs. Yeah, it's still kind of quite a nice feature, and I just love all of this trellising. Even though it was really frustrating when we wanted to replace a bit and realised there's no replacing it. We had to kind of make it from scratch because obviously it was like...
bespoke.
Yeah, it was bespoke for this chateau.
But yeah, hopefully in a year's time this will just all grow, ivy everywhere, hanging plants. What's the opposite of a hanging plant? Climbers, everything.
Yeah, it'll be
jungle.
An explosion of life. It'll be like very green.
And this will be a like dual purpose space. It'll be for weddings, big events, like a summer dining room, lots of things.
Yeah, so it'll be good fun. So, yeah, one other thing about this room. If you saw the Chateau DIY episode, you'll have seen that we also turned a room behind here into a secret room, which
was a Santa's crossover, wasn't it?
Yeah. I bought this door from a Brocon, and then we built up onto it, trellising to try and match either side. It's not plugged in at the moment, so that's why it's like trying to pop open. But what we have is like a magnet at the top that holds it shut, and then it's kind of connected to our smart speaker, so we can say a command word, and then the door just springs open of its own accord. For the moment.
And we kept this beautiful stained glass door, which we didn't even know we had until we'd actually bought it, because it had been open the whole time. Like that. And so we never really noticed
it. Was a beautiful stained glass window. Now smashed.
But anyway, it's full of junk.
But yeah, it's basically just a storeroom at the moment. But one day we might, when we've finished the rest of the chateau, we'll kind of spend a bit more time on this room and maybe turn it into a more permanent, more permanent thing.
Right, onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
The dining room. First things first, I can't stand the yellow.
I don't mind it that much. It hasn't bothered me. I mean...
Really? You'd keep it like this?
No, I wouldn't keep it. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have been in a rush to kind of get it stripped out straight away. I could have probably lived with it for a couple of years. And
God, I just remember New Year's Day we came down on a hangover. I was like, oh, take my eyes.
Yeah, no, on a hangover it's definitely a bit much.
But again, so this room we're going to be doing on Chateau DIY.
Yeah.
So we can't say too much, but the general vibe is going to be like captain ship, all wooden panelled, kind of wood.
Yeah, it'll be kind of almost a bit like kind of Pall Mall club type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that I think we really love about this room is this. It's a Hungarian stove, so it looks tiny, the hole at the bottom, but actually it goes back really, really far. So you can put logs in, put them in lengthways, and then it apparently gets like, we've not used it yet, but it gets roaring, and then it heats up all of the sort of ceramic tiles, and then apparently it really throws out the heat. So yeah, I love that.
We had to make sure it was on the contract, because a lot of the times you buy in France, they'll take kind of big features with them if you don't say you want it as part of the contract. So
yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, the amount of things. I think there's some rule around if it's fixed, then it's part of the deal. But even then, I think
it's worth just.
Yeah, you really want to kind of cross your T's and dot your I's just to make sure that everything you think you're going to get in a purchase does come with the property.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at the moment it's a bit of a chaos in here, and it's also, as you can see, a bit of an art gallery for lots of pictures that we're just holding here temporarily until we find another home for them. That's why.
So many people, when I posted this picture of this room up, are like, your pictures are all wonky and your curtains are halfway up. I was like,
those are not our curtains.
Those are not our curtains, and that's just temporary.
Yeah, those pictures aren't going to stay there. But they're basically a lot of our brocante finds, and you'll be amazed. Like some of them we just got for kind of €3.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will find places for all of those pictures around the house.
You can see actually, I just realised we did a little test.
Yeah.
Stripped it back with cling. Is it called cling strip?
Cling strip. Yeah. It's
really
good
good stuff.
Yeah.
And some really saves the work of like.
I was using a kind of gel paint stripper on all sorts of other things. I think I might have used some here. And it just took about 3 different coats and forever. So cling strips definitely.
We'll do a video of that because I think that's quite interesting. It's really satisfying when it just goes in one piece. It's really good.
It's sliced off like icing on a cake. Cool. Shall we head on to the next room?
Yeah.
Right, through to the kitchen. Right, so. I don't know why I keep saying, right, so. It's sort of like a. So, what are we going to do next?
Nothing in here for a long time.
Yeah, this will stay the same for a while, but it's a very good place for storing coats.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking like we might put a toilet in there, weren't we, at some point?
Yeah, it's a big cloakroom understairs storage thing. So one day, but probably 2 years' time, we don't need another toilet downstairs.
Apparently there used to actually be a door there, and this was...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like the staff entrance.
I forgot she said that.
This is obviously like the staff's bit of the house, and so, or the servants' bit of the house. So this was their staircase, and then the sort of the grand lady or dame or whatever would have used the main spiral staircase.
It's funny how we've ended up using this staircase
all the time. Yeah.
Pretty much 95% of the time.
Well, we are basically.
We are staff. Yes, we've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
But I want to turn this like forgotten, ugly staircase into something really beautiful one day.
Yeah.
Thinking like a mural up the whole staircase, lovely carpet, or just like a runner.
I was looking at the skirting board and thinking we could do
it's
something.
awful,
We could, I feel like there's something I should be able to do with the skirting board. So
yeah, that's a good
I
point.
might create a new, really high one that kind of runs up.
Like a sweeping.
Yeah, I think it could be quite nice. But yeah, that would be a long time.
Oh, and I haven't told you this, but I've already got the paint for the banister.
Oh, really?
It's called Downing Street, which is where I used
Is
to
that
work.
Mylan's picture?
Yeah, it's another Mylan's
Mylan's paint even. Yeah.
Downing Street, and it's black. It's quite bold.
Yeah, so we will leave this project for a little while, I think, but we'll get there eventually. Anyway, should we go into the kitchen next?
Yeah, let's do that.
This is the kitchen. Hello, Bo.
Hello.
This is also where Bo spends quite a lot of her days. I feel a bit sorry for Bo because we do end up having to shut her in the kitchen because the DIY that we do is really, really dusty, and she was getting kind of irritated, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's not good for dogs.
Yeah, so we've ended up like having to close her in the kitchen, unfortunately, or our bedroom, but she doesn't seem to mind it too much. But it's a really great kitchen, so it was...
We lucked out, didn't we, with this massively?
Yeah, when we arrived, we were like... The first day we got here, was just really nice to go, actually, do you know what? This kitchen is a really, really nice kitchen. I mean, we wouldn't pick the colour, and we probably will change it at some point.
I don't mind the red, but yeah, I think we need to lighten it a little.
Yeah, I mean, actually the main thing is the layout, in that it sort of just feels that it's not quite, maybe we would sort of just reconfigure it a bit, so there's more space around the table, but the oven was incredible. Like,
It's massive.
this thing's huge, and it's got what's. We had a great debate. Look at the size of that. It's incredible. Like you can do.
That is a baking tray.
You can do like 5 turkeys in there.
It's almost as tall as my entire torso, and I'm 6'4".
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
A lot of pigs and blankets. You can do the whole Christmas dinner. But it's also got this thing called a French top, so.
Which we only just learned because we had to ask everyone on
Sorry,
Instagram,
bro.
Instagram and Facebook what it was. We had no idea.
I found like a video which showed like how you actually cook with a French top, and apparently like you have a really hot spot in the middle, and you kind of can use that for some things you want to cook more quickly.
I should demonstrate.
And you can then move pans to the side to keep them warm or to sort of cook stuff slowly.
Yeah.
But apparently
You can get loads on, that's the idea, isn't it?
you can get loads on, but also by having indirect heat, apparently it means that it sort of less evaporates away, so it's better for kind of slow cooking. So I'm told anyway.
Not that we'll be using it anytime soon, but it's nice to have.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, it's got everything we need. It's great. We can just get on with stuff and then leave. And
Yeah. It's also, this kitchen's also got these incredible awards, which I don't think, because the previous owner was a chef. I think they're butchers awards. So like presumably for like the best meat. Although I wonder whether they're farmers actually, because it's beef of boucherie, so that's beef of butchers. I think someone will tell me anyway. Please let us know. But
yeah,
my sense is it was either a farmer or a butcher that won a load of prizes.
As a vegetarian, I'm in two minds. I like them, but I like the look of them, so I'll probably just keep them.
Yeah.
For the history.
Again, we're probably going to leave this room till quite late.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it's got an old sort of farmhouse door as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the stable door. I want it actually. At the moment, it's attached, but I want to cut
Yeah.
it so we can have it.
I think so. The house was built in 2 parts, as I was mentioning. I think this was the original bit, so that was probably once an outside door, and then I think that bit of the house was built afterwards with the built bell tower.
Ooh, we found some photos of this room
Oh really?
before the previous owner had done it. So if
Did
you
it have those plates on as well?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but maybe you could pop that up and they can have a look at what it looked like
I'll
before.
show you this. Yeah, what it used to be like. I think they used to have a big
Thing.
fire thing here. Anyway, let's check out this room.
How do we have to show them that room?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's our control centre, so we have to sort of show people where we get all of our work done, basically.
It's hideous. One day it's going to be like a beautiful boot room, second kitchen, laundry, storeroom.
Cut the suspense. Let them have a look.
Oh, actually, you've had a tidy up. It's not as bad as it was.
It's not quite as bad, but let me bring the camera a little bit closer. So in here, it's everything really, isn't it? It's where we keep all of our tools. It's got this incredible water system that sort of captures the water from the gutters, and yeah, there's like a big tank outside, which I think is like rainwater. It's got this incredible sort of washing sink, which it's actually got an area where it's kind of
eroded away
just from
bashing.
Yeah, laser like bashing the laundry. But it's a bit useless. It doesn't really drain away properly. So
And it's really shallow, so the water goes everywhere.
yeah, so I think we'll probably change that and put in a butler sink. But
Yeah.
maybe we can keep the stone sink and use it as something like
Something outside.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
like a for plants or
Be ashamed to get rid of it.
yeah, a little trough for bow.
This Creole?
I think that's what it's called. Although I was like,
For washing.
my mum always used to say that they were called creoles, but I was like looking onto the internet and I didn't find any other description of it as a creole. They just said clothes hanger. So I don't know. Like,
But we're going to replace it with a really beautiful handmade wooden one, that should look really lovely.
Yeah.
And then that cupboard will keep and make the drawers nicer, maybe tongue and groove, something pretty.
Yeah.
Just make it really lovely.
This table used to be in the kitchen, and it was like an enormous prep table, and it was so heavy. We had these two guys who were like seriously strong.
Oh, it's like 3 times the size of me.
Yeah,
not difficult, but he was
massive and
huge.
With us and them, it still took just this piece of metal on the top. Was almost
4 of us.
it took 4 of us, and it was really, really heavy just to move it through. The actual frame itself was a lot lighter, but this metal is just.
But what we're gonna do? Keep it in here for like prepping. And
I think we've got to
for
keep it in
weddings
for
and
now,
stuff.
but I slightly worry it's too big for the room. So one day we might have to maybe send it over to the stables, where it can have a purpose there.
I'm gonna be away when that happens.
And you won't be lifting it.
No. So gonna be.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on somewhere
Yeah,
else?
next.
The bell. We haven't mentioned
You can
the bell.
ring the bell from here.
Yeah. Let me go on. Do you want to do? Right, I'll do the honours. I'll move it.
I don't want to see it being run though, don't you? And the pulley.
I can hear it. It's quite hard to hear from down here, but it's quite loud when you're outside. But yeah, good fun. But annoyingly, it's like right next to the hot water type pipe. So yeah, probably shouldn't ring it too often. Should we head on to the...
So that's it, that's the ground floor done. Nothing else to show you on this floor for now.
But very, very soon we'll upload another video covering the first floor and then the second floor. So do look out for those. Ooh.